Welcome to Consistency Base. Here I'm starting my pull day with some scapular pull-ups as a warm-up. I'm struggling with these. I don't really know the exact technique. I'm going to have to do some more research, but I'm managing to pull these off. I'm doing 6 reps, nice slow reps, and just trying to work on my shoulders. My shoulders have had problems in the past, and I do currently have problems with my neck as well. So I'm really hoping this will help. And actually part of my pull day has been to consider just what I'm doing with my head and my neck so that I don't aggravate it. So I'm doing another set of scapulars. The idea here is that I want my scapular pull-ups to be quite good so that when I do the real pull-ups in a moment, I'm able to pull myself out using my scapula rather than my arms. When I do this movement, I am trying to consider where my body is going in relation to space and where my shoulders are, because my left shoulder does actually have a bit of a crack on the way down on some of the reps. So now we're moving on to pull-ups, and you'll see that I'm still doing that 3-second lowering or eccentric phase. And this is to make sure that I'm not faking these reps. I do think there's a very minor kip at the bottom that I'm doing. I'm not completely strict, but I'm pretty happy with the pull-ups I am doing. I managed to get to 8 reps this time, which I think is quite a lot considering that I'm doing this very slow lowering phase. And I could probably pump out more if I was doing faster reps, but I'm not trying to ego lift here. I'm trying to make sure that I'm actually controlling my body weight on these pull-ups. You'll notice on the last rep that my legs do go out as well, and that's something that I'm trying to work on, is trying to keep my body nice and straight. You'll see at the beginning here, my body's reasonably straight. There's some swinging going on, and it's quite challenging to stop that. But I am still getting the pull. I'm feeling it where I need to, and my back is getting bigger. And I have been making gains, although I don't make any gains on this particular workout. So I did exactly the same as I did in the last workout. And I think it's important to be really comfortable with that idea. The idea that the same as last workout is a bad thing is just a way to make yourself upset. You should really be thinking about, if I'm doing the same, I haven't lost any muscle and I'm probably gaining, but I just don't realize it. So don't be afraid. If you're stalling, it's absolutely fine. Maybe look at your diet, maybe look at your sleep, maybe look at some other factors as to why you're stalling. Maybe you're overdoing it. However, getting the same reps one week to the next isn't really the end of the world if eventually you add just 1 rep. So now I move into rows, and I'm doing 31.25 kilograms, again using fractional plates to enable me to just add that 0.25 kilos each time I manage to get 3 sets of 10 on the last workout. I'm doing light weights here, and you'll see that this is one exercise where I definitely am pausing at the top. Previously, I had been doing 40 kilos on this, but it was sloppy. And so I dropped the weight down to 30, and I put the pause in there to make it more powerful and challenging. And I think it's had a really good result. And then working my way up in 0.25 kilogram increments has enabled me to keep the good form going and enabled me to keep that pause. So I'm really controlling the weight. It's important to note that these rows are being done directly after pull-ups, so the muscles are already fatigued. So it's good to have the lighter weight, focus on form, and treat this more like an auxiliary workout rather than the main workout. The pull-ups are the main event. This is an auxiliary. So for pull-ups, I had a 2-minute rest between. These, I have a 1.5-minute rest between. The nice thing about this is it actually speeds up the workout. So I have a nice 2-minute rest between pull-ups to let my body completely relax and get ready for the next set. And then I have 1.5 minutes to treat this like an auxiliary, and therefore I get through the workout much quicker. So I'm not spending as much time standing around waiting to do the next movement. And it does actually mean that my workout does fit within a 30-minute slot, which I really like. I've managed to program all of my workouts to fit within that amount of time, so I can guarantee how long I've got. And if I'm busy and I've run out of time, I know that I can't afford to go into the gym and I'll have to pick another time in the evening or something. Luckily, that hasn't happened for a while, but it's something that I have considered. I'm actually doing this workout fasted, and it's 5 a.m. So, this allows me to have that freedom to do the exercise. So we're now moving on to face pulls, and I think this is really important for me. This is very good for your shoulder health, and that's something that I'm really keen on. I have had many shoulder injuries in the past doing heavy bench press, and my shoulder's just gone, I can't handle this. So I'm giving my shoulders a break, and I'm doing something nice here. I'm using quite a light resistance band. I mean, it is quite heavy. I had moved on to a heavier one, but I was finding that my neck was moving forward, and one of the things I have been doing is those chin tucks to try to help my front of my neck strengthen so that my back of my neck doesn't hurt as much, because I have had quite a lot of neck pain recently. The right side still kind of flares up every so often. It's bad posture, bad sitting. My job, I tend to sit down, but I do have a standing desk, so I'm going to be using that a lot more. But here, what I'm trying to do is very slow reps. I'm trying to make sure that the bands go right either side of my face and that my neck is nice and straight while I'm doing it. I do have a slight lean back because it's quite difficult to stay balanced if you're completely straight. So I'm leaning back a bit, but I am actually using the muscles on my back to pull this band. And whilst it looks like a very thin band, it is challenging, and I will be working up to the next band eventually. I have been able to do the next band, but it just didn't feel like it was very good form. And really, I think it's important to have excellent form before moving up. Even though some slight sloppy form is acceptable, as I said in the last video with my lateral raises, they're not great. I would like to improve them. I may even drop the weight on those. But here I've dropped the weight. I was happy to drop the weight, and that's something I think you should really keep in mind. It's not bad to drop the weight. It's not bad to go back and focus on your form. And with these face pulls, these felt so much nicer than trying to max out on this really heavy weight that I just wasn't coping with. And so with the face pulls done, we're now moving into bicep curls. And this is quite a heavy weight for me. So I managed to get 10 reps on this first set, which I'm quite happy with. But I'd done 10 reps on the last one. I'm really trying to lock my elbows at my sides until I get very close to the top, where they still stay by my side, but you'll see that they come forward slightly just to let me go into that extra range. However, I'm really focusing on not using my hips to push it out. There is some wobble in my body. I don't know if that's acceptable or not, but I'm certainly feeling it in my biceps. These particular dumbbells are also quite difficult to grip, so they have quite a narrow grip to them, and I do have another set that has a thicker grip, which are much easier to hold on to. It might be worth me swapping to those, but I'm sticking with these for now to challenge myself and see how I go with it. So coming to set 2, and I actually lost a rep here. I was able to do 10 reps in the last one, and I only managed to get 9. One of the reasons could be that I maybe slowed down the eccentric part of this movement, but it could also just be that I've lost some of my capacity. I didn't sleep very well last night. I actually woke up incredibly early, about 4 a.m. Wasn't intending to. I really do want to be getting up at 5, so that could have had an impact. I also went to bed quite late as well, or at least I couldn't get to sleep as easily. So many factors can actually affect how many reps you can do, but it still was a very good workout, and I'm not beating myself up about it at all. I'm actually quite happy with what I was able to do, and I know that this will come back later. I'm not wearing myself out. Each workout, I don't feel sore, I feel pumped, I feel active, I feel ready for more, but I'm still working. As you can see, I tried for the 10th there, I just couldn't make it. I'd reached failure. And again, on this set, I do 6 reps, and I have literally reached failure by the time I get there. There's no way I could have lifted another one. Maybe I could, but my form would have been terrible. Each arm would have probably come up at separate times, and that wouldn't have been very good at all. So I stopped at that point. I'm not going to ego lift. I'm not going to try and do more than my body's capable of, again, because I don't want to get any injuries. Injury-free training, that is my philosophy, my number one. And so I try for one more rep, but I just can't make it. And so as I move into the dead hang, I want to talk about habit stacking, and that's what I've done with this dead hang, is I've stacked this habit. I was just doing my workout and I decided to add the dead hang to the end, so I always get a minute of dead hang every time I do a workout. Now, habit stacking comes from Atomic Habits, which is a great book if you want to read it. But I would be wary of it because it's brilliant, but it's very easy to get sucked in. And I was trying to do too many things at once. I was habit stacking all over the place and feeling like I had to do everything. There is nothing wrong with the advice in the book, but the advice in the book is there to help people add habits. What it doesn't help you do is stop yourself adding too many. So with my new philosophy around training and life, I'm trying to keep things simple. I'm only adding those things that are going to have impact to me. So I don't need to learn every language under the sun, read every book under the sun. I don't need to train for hours on end. I just need to be consistent. Thank you for watching.